This is Zafer Yilmaz from Sineblog.org. Thank you for having me.
Hi, and thanks for doing the interview.
I think Loners is your first feature film, acting and producing experience. How did that feel? Was it hard to adapt for you for a completely new experience?
Yeah, Loners is the first movie that I actually worked on. It was a fun experience, really. I mean, most of it is to thank to Mario Di Leonardo, because he always tried to keep it light and try to have fun while we're doing it. You know, this was very important to all of us, and that helps out a lot. You know, try not to make the stress levels too high, and it'll be all right. So yeah, we liked doing it. Of course, it was hard sometimes because you're running into like problems you never ever thought about before. Like it's always when you do something for the first time, it's a very new experience that will make you learn a lot of different new things.
Can you describe Sean's character in Loners? How did you train for the role?
Sean is a kind of a difficult person. He has a big temper because of a lot of stuff that happened in his earlier years, and the way we actually tried to train for these roles was we did a master class on acting, and it was the one from Dustin Hoffman, which was very like funny, interesting, good things to know. And apart from that, we tried to relate to things you're trying to act out. So if somebody's angry, like try to really think about a moment where you would be angry as well, so that the whole thing feels kind of natural instead of you're trying to act something out, which was very helpful as well, I think.
What indie means for you? What is indie about for you? Passion of telling a story, awards, getting known, or something else?
Indie it comes from independent, and being independent, of course, is very different from a big project where there is investors and all kinds of people who want something out of it. I personally like indie very much. Like it's everywhere in movies, music, video games, you name it. That doesn't mean like big projects with investors and that kind of stuff are bad or something. It's those two things, they can do their own things very well. Like in indie, you really feel like you are your own boss, you know, and who doesn't like to be their own boss, right? Getting famous or awards or getting known, all these things this was not our first and top priority. I think trying to have fun in some creative project that you want to do, like, should be your main priority at all times. Otherwise, it just feels like any other job, you know. And like making money with a movie is not going to be easy, so you might as well just start working on something on like a company somewhere, something totally different.
You composed very stunning scores for Loners. I think you composed mostly for video games before. How was it different composing for a film than for a video game?
Well, thank you for the compliment. Yeah, music in video games and movies is kind of different, but there are some overlap and some differences. Something that is being done a lot, I think, is we made themes for each character. So Frankie has his own song, let's say Sean has his own, and those themes can reoccur even in different varieties, like slow versions. And the difference is like, yeah, in video games there is a lot of tricks you have to do with music. There is a lot of looping music, So if somebody decides to stay in one scene for 5 minutes, the music should not stop after 2 minutes, for example. If somebody decides to make a mess in a certain scene, the music might change. There might be different layers that get activated on top of each other, which will make it more tense or whatever you want to try to achieve. So that is, yeah, it can be kind of different, but like always, go back to the first thing, and that is what type of music makes this scene better.
Is composing done by getting a feeling for the whole film or scene by scene?
I try to make it one soundtrack that fits together, and we sort of went scene by scene to decide, first of all, like, should the scene even have music or not. Some music was written before and some was written after the fact. When I saw certain scenes, something clicked, like, okay, we need a certain type of vibe in this scene, so the music has got to support this. And that is one of the most important parts of the whole thing of combining video and music, is both of them should support each other and make the whole thing stronger. And if you choose to combine music and images, videos, games, whatever, I think this is a good one to have as a top priority, that both of them should support each other and make the whole thing better. And it's not about the video or the music anymore. If you combine it, it should be one thing.
Could you have all you wanted to have in Loners?
Yeah, I could have all I wanted and a lot more even. Like, because it's the first time when you work on a movie, you will learn so many things. And now looking back at it, there will be so many things I would do differently, but that is just because now I've already done it once. And yeah, you will grow and you learn a lot, and you would like to change things maybe even now, but it's that's not what it's about. Like, you made your first project and the next one can be better. That's how it works.
Is indie filmmaking so much sacrifice and friendship? Did you have tough times with other actors, actresses, and with Mario, the director? How did you get it over?
Yeah, there is sacrifice. Mainly your free time. Like, I'm doing a normal daytime job, and in the evening and the weekends I can work on a project like this. So before you start, you have to just think very well for yourself if you want to give up that free time to finish a project like that. And we did, and it worked out. And I think mainly because I knew upfront already that Mario Di Leonardo was going to actually finish this project if he said he was going to. I knew him before. There's no doubt in my mind that he was going to stop halfway through. So that made it easier for me to also jump in. And there were some difficulties here and there. Like, I'll give an example. Somebody who was also doing some acting at the day of the shooting was getting doubts and getting some insecurities about themselves, and so we talked and ended up on that they still were going to do it. And in the end, it turned out that the one that was the most insecure about themselves actually did one of the best jobs from the whole movie, so which is funny.
As a producer, what is the hardest part for making an indie film? Equipment problems, shooting, finding the right actors, actresses, etc.
Yeah, the hardest part, I can't really talk about that too much because the producer is actually Mario Di Leonardo, and all of this was on his shoulders. Like, this is his movie, and I helped with everything I could, so also producing in a certain sense. But I think the hardest part, if I try to think for him will have been keeping the whole thing together, like not being able to pay people and they want to do it because they like it. There is a bunch of people who said they were going to do something and then didn't, and trying to keep everybody motivated. I guess this was probably the hardest part for him. For me, this was mostly equipment related and like little mistakes and things in audio that after in the end we had to try and fix. That if we all would have known this up front, we would have done it a little bit different and we wouldn't have to fix a lot of things afterwards, because it's always way more difficult to fix problems afterwards than to avoid them all at once. So yeah, I think it was all, we could all manage to do this and fix all the things as good as we could, but yeah, this would have been a huge time saver if we would have already had this experience before making it. So this only means that if we're going to make another one, that all those things will be more streamlined and will be better, probably. Yeah.
Acting, producing, and composing for a feature film. Will you do that again?
I probably won't do the acting part again. I mean, don't quote me on it, never say never, but this was kind of a thing that Mario thought he would like it if I did this, and it was a very fun experience and it was good. But my whole thing has always been music, so focusing on making the music and making the best out of that is probably the best thing I can do. So if the question gets raised, if I want to do music for something, then it's very probably that it will be a yes.
Thank you for your time. Greetings from Sineblog.org.